I am G. For those of you who don't know me, I have been part of the Minster for a while. Definitely more than 3 years, a little bit more than 3 years. I've lived in Telford for 3 years, but before then I kind of visited, dabbled in coming to Telford Minster before I actually moved here. Lots of you might know that I am married to Nick. You will often find Nick probably about here, sat behind the piano, usually with his back to you. He's not usually that rude. He is just playing the piano. I am a primary school teacher when I'm not here. Currently, I am really enjoying, don't mean to brag, I'm sorry everybody, really enjoying my 6 weeks holidays. But I thought today we'll start off with a little bit of a game to get us going. Now, one of my favourite things about my workplace is just that everybody's lovely, but also the special Friday treats that miraculously arrive on a Friday afternoon in the staff room. So, keep that in your mind. I have got some little treats for you guys, but I need you to help me with something first, okay? So we've got a little game. Let me bring this across. Let's not knock everything out on the way. Right, okay, I'm going to put this right here. I'm hoping that most of you can see it. Can you all see it? Kind of? Yeah. Okay, so I want to see how well you have been listening to our Bible series so far on Jesus' Sermon on the Mount in Matthew 5. I've got it's a little like game of like Pictionary-esque kind of thing. So I would like you to help me to name the Beatitudes that Jesus says in Matthew 5. So I have some pictures here to help me. As you can see, my art GCSE has come in really handy for this. I finished my GCSEs 10 years ago. Haven't used it since. This is the first time. It wasn't 10 years ago. It was way longer than 10 years ago. I've forgotten how old I am. So I would like you to help me. There are some prizes for the first person to shout out the answer. So let's start with first one. Blessed are the, let me hold it up. Okay, so we have a bowl of fruit. These fruits might be fruits of the Spirit, perhaps. However, there's a big cross through them. So these people don't have these. Go on. Pour in. Yes, thank you, Emma. Well done. Give Emma a round of applause. Gwen, do you want to come and collect your mum's prize? Come on. Come and collect your mum's prize. Right, next one. We have blessed are those who mourn. Who was that? Come on, Claire. Nice one. Blessed are those who mourn. Now, I showed these to my husband, Nick, the other day, and he was like, I don't know what you're talking about. So you guys are doing far better than he did. Right, next one. Easy peasy one. Blessed are those who are hungry. Well done, Alawande Rose. Go and choose your prize. Take one for Claire while you're there. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst. There we are. Right, this is a tricky one. This is the one that I thought was genius, but we'll see. Hey, well done, Mr. Shepherd. Blessed are the meek. Now, I showed this one to Nick, and he was like, why have you drawn a mouse? Blessed are the meek. Well done, thank you. It's not wasted. Right, this one is really hard. You might have to really know your Bible for this one. You might know your Matthew 5. Oh, you're not wrong there, Annette, but it's not quite this one. Emma, you are on a roll today. Blessed are the merciful. Love, giving love, showing mercy to others. Excellent. Blessed are the merciful. Now, this is where what I'm going to be talking about today. So, we've just heard it. Next one. Blessed are the... We got it? Pure in heart. Lovely. Come and collect a prize. If you don't want to get up, I'll come and bring it to you in a moment. Blessed are the pure in heart. Lovely. Okay, this one is important for what we're talking about today. Anybody over here? I feel like this... Go on, Annette. Yes, blessed are the peacemakers. You are totally right. That's an important one for today, especially when talking about IJM and the fantastic work that they do. Right, last one. Oh, nearly. So I'm thinking we've talked a little bit about chains, people that... Go on, Emma. Yes, blessed are the persecuted. I've lost my blue tack. That one's just going to have to go there. Okay, so there are just give yourselves a round of applause. That was amazing. Well done. Super job. If I owe you a prize, do come and grab it or let me know afterwards. That is our Bible reading for today, as we've just heard our friends so beautifully read to us. Now, hands up if you have a job, you maybe go to school, college, university, have a kind of place of work. Hands up in the air, nice and high so I can see. Now, keep those hands up in the air. If you get paid a fairly decent wage for what you do, you feel generally, hang on, children, people at school, keep your hand up, there's more questions coming. I know you don't get paid to be there. Keep your hand up if you feel that you are fairly treated in that place. Put your hand up if you feel that you are safe, that you are generally happy in that place. I just saw a teacher put her hand down there. It's not that bad. So as you can all agree, kind of looking around, that is most of us. Most of us have a place of work or school that we feel generally happy, okay, going to. It might be hard, it might be stressful, but we are generally happy, safe, and well treated. But as Charmaine told us a moment ago, that's not true for everybody in the world. There are over 50 million people, men, women, children, who that's not true for. They are trapped in slavery, they are mistreated, they are abused, they are hurt, and it's completely out of their control. The abuse that goes on is unimaginable. The working conditions, the living conditions, totally unimaginable. Would you believe that slavery is actually illegal in every country across the globe? Yet it still happens, still continues. So God calls us, as Christians, to show mercy and compassion for these people and seek justice on their behalf, just as IJM do. Now, we've got a little story of somebody whose life has been transformed by IJM. Now, Genevieve, do you want to come and read it, or do you want me to do it? You have to do it? Great. Genevieve is going to come and tell us a story of a little girl called Enway. I will say no more, and I will let her do it.
Do you say Emily? We're going to use Emily. When Emily was just 8 years old, she found herself living on the streets with no parents or family to keep her safe. All alone with no one to protect her, Emily was taken away by strangers, sold, locked up, and forced to work as a maid. Her days were filled with exhausting housework. Her nights were spent sleeping on the floor with the dogs. Her life was falling apart at the seams. She felt lost, hopeless, and afraid. Emily tried her best to work as hard as she could, but she was so tired and weak. Her masters would hit her and beat her to make her work faster. Her fingers were broken. She was beaten with sticks. This made it even harder to work, but she pushed on, praying that one day God would save her. She felt helpless, alone, and in great pain. She longed for her freedom. She tried to run away, but each time she was caught and punished. She felt completely alone, stuck in this living nightmare forever. But one day, a new maid arrived, in the same way Enway had, taken, trafficked, and abused, and together they found the courage to attempt to escape one more time. The girls fled the house in the middle of the night and managed to reach the safety of a nearby hospital. Doctors were surprised by Enway's injuries and the strength and determination she had shown during her escape. Enway was still afraid and needed urgent protection. Enway had nowhere to go, no one to turn to. That's when IGM arrived. For the first time in years, Enway had someone who cared for her, someone who would protect her. She was taken to an IJM-funded shelter where she was able to rest and heal in comfort and safety. With specialist care and legal support from IJM, Enway was able to stand up to the people who had mistreated her and testified in court against her trafficker. Thanks to her immense courage and the support of the IJM team, Enway's abuser was sent to prison, where he would serve a 10-year sentence. When she was ready, Enway moved from the shelter to a foster home. Surrounded by a loving family, Enway had the love and protection that she needed. Now a teenager, Enway loved to sew and do crafts. Inspired by her time learning dressmaking at the shelter, she longs to one day become a successful dressmaker. Enway says, "I'm thankful for the people and groups who helped me. I was given hope to live again and to dream again."
Thank you, Genevieve. That is such a powerful story, and I know that there are thousands more stories just like Enway's of the amazing work that IJM do. Now, as lots of you have heard this morning, as we've all heard this morning, lots of us have just spent a week camping at New Wine. Now, I don't know about anybody else, but I came back really quite hungry. I mean, we'd eaten really well. I ate with Harry and Steph. Steph did a really good job of feeding me. Don't tell her that I said that I came home absolutely starving. But I got home and I just was really craving something really like fresh and hearty. Bit of veg, gravy, meat, like a full-on like roast dinner. Didn't actually get one, but that's by the by. But I came home and I was like really quite hungry. Have you guys ever felt that? Have you ever felt really hungry? Maybe you've skipped breakfast and it's getting towards lunchtime. You've got that rumbling in your tummy. You're thinking, oh, I could really do with something good to eat. Maybe you're in the supermarket and you're perusing the aisles and you're so hungry, you just don't know what it is you actually want to eat. That's the main reason I'm not allowed to do the shopping in our house, because I literally will buy everything. So we all have probably felt what it feels like to be physically hungry, to really want something to eat. But have you ever felt hunger in a different way? Hunger for something else? Hunger for change? Hunger to see God's will play out in the world? Hunger for his righteousness? Now that word righteousness, we often hear flung about in sermons. We might read it in the Bible. We might see it on like a fancy Instagram post. But do we actually know what it means? I mean, I didn't fully know what it meant until I started writing this talk. So a quick little Google told me this. In the Bible, righteousness generally means being morally right, just, and in right standing with God. Basically, living exactly how God wants us to live. Living out God's will. Acting fairly, honestly, and faithfully in accordance with his instructions. That's treating people with love and compassion and kindness, giving to those in need, helping the poor, all those things that Jesus taught us to be and do. Now, I know lots of you do like a little pre-translation etymology, so I've looked into some Greek. I know, get me. So, the word dikaiosune, can you say that? Dikaiosune. It's a great word. It sounds like some sort of like Greek dish that you'd like order with tzatziki or something. Again, hungry, always thinking about food. Dikaiosune is used in the original Greek translation of Matthew, where it says, "Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for dikaiosune, for they will be filled." It comes from the Greek word dikaios, which means just or what is right. So the word dikaiosune encompasses the whole idea of being completely fair, moral, and just. Being righteous. Doing what is right according to God's will. Now, as God's people, we know that we are called to love others and do right by him. Love others, love your neighbor. That is like the one main, if you're going to read the Bible, that's kind of like the main takeaway, isn't it? For me, it is anyway. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm really not one of these people who will just go up to people and talk to them about Jesus. And I know some of you really are, and some of you are so blessed with that gift. But I am not. That is not me. One day I might be, but it's not me. I prefer to show people who Jesus is through what I do, by showing them love and kindness and compassion, like shining Jesus through me. Being Christ-like in that's what Christ calls us to be. Now, I prefer to show people what God's righteousness is, rather than shouting it out from the rooftops. Like, God calls us to love one another, to care for those in need, to be righteous, to do the right thing according to what he wants for us. Okay? To play out his will in the world, to treat people with kindness and respect and grace and love. The point I'm trying to make, really, is, are you guys not hungry for that too? Are you guys hungry to see God's righteousness in the world, to see God's grace, God's love in the world? We've heard the story of Enway. We've heard of some of the things that from Charmaine that IJM do. to bring God's righteousness into the world? Are we not, Telford Minster, are we not hungry to see that too? To see people who are entrapped, people who are in chains, set free? We are. I can hear it somewhere. Some of you are. Are we hungry for that, guys? Yes, we are. So as Charmaine has so beautifully told us, and I'm not going to repeat what she said because I couldn't say it as beautifully as that. But IJM are one of our big mission partners. They are a organisation that we as a church support, both financially and in prayer. And the work that they do is absolutely phenomenal. But how does IJM link with our passage from Mark? Now, I really sat and pondered over this. And as I was reading, I thought, this is so obvious, but I'm going to tell you anyway. So, blessed are the merciful. That's our first part. That is from Matthew 5. Is that one verse 6? I can't remember. Maybe 7. It might be 6. Is it 6 or 7? Doesn't matter. Anyway, blessed are the merciful. This one, I think, is really self-explanatory because the main aim of IJM is to show people love. They go into these places where people are hurting, where people are trapped, where people are persecuted, and they show them love. They show them God's grace. So therefore, they will be blessed. They will be blessed by God because they are showing mercy to those who need it. Next bit, blessed are the pure in heart. The people who work and support IJM they've obviously been blessed with a heart for others. If you have not got a heart for loving other people, working with IJM is not something that you would do. So they go in, they love others, they care for others, they show compassion, they fight for the rights of others. Does that not show you that they are pure in heart and therefore will be blessed by God? Blessed are the peacemakers. I think that one is really important because the main work that IJM do is to go into challenging and dangerous environments, and they are committed to ending slavery and fighting for justice for those who are being persecuted. They work with local authorities to change the justice system, to bring perpetrators to justice. They are fighting for peace in our world. So, of course, they will be blessed by God. And the last one, blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake. Now this one, I think, I always struggle with this one because it's like, why persecuted? Why would people who are persecuted be described as blessed? We think of being blessed as like having it all. And even in the Old Testament, that is what it was. It was you were considered blessed if you were wealthy, if you had lots of money, if you had lots of children, lots of land. So why then would people who are being persecuted be blessed? Now, in this passage, Jesus wants to change this view that we have about what it means to be blessed. Blessed are those who are persecuted because of righteousness. Jesus offers a promise of blessing for those who suffer for doing the right thing. He's acknowledging that in doing what they do, IJM partners and people who work with them are going to be challenged. They might be persecuted for doing his work. But still, they will be rewarded in heaven for bringing his righteousness to the world. Because that is what IJM do. They bring God's righteousness into a pretty broken world. But God also wants to bless us in supporting what those people do too. So as I come towards the end of what I have to say to you today, we're going to take some time to pause and to think and to pray about what we can do as God's people, what we can do next. So, have a little think. What is God calling you to? Are you hungry for God's righteousness? Are you hungry for God's peace in the world? Are you hungry to do what God has called you to do what is right? Is God calling you to help make that change in the world, even just in Telford? So there are lots of things that we can do to support the work of IJM, to bring God's righteousness to the world, to the wider world, but also to our own communities. You might be called to pray. And we're going to do a bit of that in a moment. Some of my lovely handy friends are coming around bringing some pens and paper around for you. It might be that you're prompted to learn more about what IJM do, and thankfully, our glamorous IJM representative is here today to talk to you about that. It might be that you're called to give to the work that IJM do, and if that's what you want to do today, the card machine is set up. Anything you tap today will go to the work that IJM do. But I do challenge you to think about how you can bring a little more of God's righteousness to your own lives, to your own communities. It might be your workplaces, it might be your schools, it might be your immediate vicinity at home, it might be your neighbours. How can you show people who God is? How can you do that? Are you hungry to see God's righteousness play out in our world? Okay, we're going to watch a little video, but while we watch the video, you have got some little paper chains in front of you, and what I'd love you to do is to have a think. Where or what do you want to pray for? Where do you want God's righteousness to be seen? Where do you want God's righteousness to shine? It might be that you are praying for those who are trapped in slavery, who are being trafficked across the world. It might be that you want to see it closer to home. It might be you want to pray for somebody in your workplace or your school. It might be that you want to pray for somebody here at Telford Minster. Where are you hungry to see God's righteousness? Write it down on your paper chain as we watch our little video.